Good morning, traders. This is Chris Pavlik here, and it is January 25th, 2012. The market has been running since the beginning of the year. Very, very strong, lots of uptrends, solid earnings. This morning, Apple has reported it's up over $37 from the previous day's close. We don't chase that kind of stuff. That's not what we do. Our goal is to provide traders with a trend trading tool. We are day traders and we find the best trends intraday. If you want to be a trader that trades stocks on a daily basis and looks for the best opportunities, you should focus on using our scan. We have been traders for more than 20 years and we have developed, based on technology that is existing today that didn't exist years ago, a special tool that combines multiple time frames and looks for the best trends. And we've enabled the trader to be able to focus and isolate and pinpoint which stocks continue to emerge throughout the day as the leaders. And that is the goal of the algorithm, is to define the trends and help the trader focus. Whether you're a new trader, whether you're a pro, this scan can help you. There's no doubt about it. It's really based on lots of different variables, but it's all put into one system. We're looking at 1 minute time periods, we're looking at 2 minute time periods, we're looking at 5 minute time periods, we're looking at moving averages, we're looking at momentum, we're looking at price behavior. The system is not lagging based on most indicators. It is real time, it is within the flow of the market, and it is a counting tool that is always moving during the day. You can trade both sides of the market, you can trade one side of the market, it's really up to you. But the main objective is to define which stocks are moving the most, and we focus on those names to capture a directional bias, whether it be long or short. Every single day there is a new trend on the upside or on the downside. There are stocks that are making major moves, and this system lets you find those names and focus on them. And the way it helps you focus is by creating this score. The window is open. I'll give you a shot of the window. The market has not opened yet today, but this is a shot of the windows. On the left side here, we have all the stocks that are up $1 from the open. This is $1.50. This is $2, and this is more than $2 over here. So each window is going to be showing you the same names if they are moving in a rapid fashion. We just like to break it up because it's easier on a visual basis to the eye. But it's basically the same scan for each one of these windows. The only difference is the price. So when something moves from $1 to $1.50 up from the open, it's going to come in this window. But what you're focusing on is the count, and the count is the score. That is, as a stock is emerging, it's making new highs, it is given a specific score as it's moving. And the lead names are the ones that you're focusing on. Those are the ones that are scoring the highest, that are increasing the most, and that's where your focus needs to be. So you can do this on the upside, you can do this on the downside. You don't need to trade 20 different systems. You don't need to trade from the long side and the short side. You can just trade one side of the market and do this on a continual basis, day after day after day, and focus and learn to master the technique. I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you this works in all kinds of markets. Whether you are in a sideways chop market, there's going to be a trend somewhere that is emerging that day. Whether you're in a major robust market that's moving up, where there's multiple participants, there's still one or two names that is outshining the rest. And if you're in a very, very weak market, the inverse ETFs are going to be going higher on the long side. So it gives you a perspective for the overall market. If a stock gaps up, $10, $20 from the previous day's close, like Apple is doing, we don't really trade that kind of action, and unless it bases out and then forms a breakout pattern and becomes one of the lead counts in the system. We're not looking to guess which names are going to open higher or lower. That's not the objective. The objective is to trade the momentum, trade the leaders, and focus. This is your intent. Our system is able to isolate. It's pinpointing exactly which names are moving more than the other names, which names are showing the most strength, which names are showing the most weakness. Every single day there is a trend somewhere, whether it be long or short, and this system will help you find it. So the website is called www.failuretotradetheplan.com, and you can go there, you can read the daily thoughts, and every day we talk about a recap of not just the market, but a recap of what our system found that day, where we are and what we're doing. Yesterday was a major day for these particular names, and our system was focusing on that. Again, cross and count your way to profitability. Learn to trade the breakouts. Discover a way to count new highs like you've never seen before. And I mean that. This is unique. There's nothing out there that combines a multi-factor approach, combining both price and time into one system, and gives you a score and enables you to focus so you can take the emotion out of your trading. This is unique, and the most important thing is that it helps you to define which names are reaching for the peak, which names are moving up the most, and which names you should be focusing on. If you're a directional trend trader, then this is for you. At the end of the day, you take the risk off the table and you move on, and you go to the next day. As you can see here, here's a name from yesterday. This name went from 80 to 86 in the first 30 minutes of trade. There is always something happening, and we help you pinpoint that direction. So as the market opens, the screens will light up, and we'll talk about the morning trends. So it's 10 o'clock this morning, and primarily the trends today in the first 30 minutes of trade have been on the downside off of the open. The biggest moves coming from Apple, which opened strongly and has reversed to the downside after such a big gap up open. Following through with Google, BVSN, which has been on a tear for the last month, also down, can't short it because it's hard to borrow the shares. But these are the bigger names on the downside that have moved significantly. The only thing that we're seeing on the upside has been CME. As you can see, the count at 43,257 at 10 o'clock. And if you pull up the chart on the stock, you can see that, I'll pull it up to you. You can look at it. Moving off of its open, 241, 242, 243. So this is really the only name. The other name that emerged was Mako, 3450 to 3550 off of the open. There really hasn't been too much else as far as significant momentum on the upside. As I said, on the downside, we'll pull over the down counter And as you can see, we've got Google with a count of 73,000, Apple with a count of 27,624, and this is really where the action has been. Pull up the chart of Google. Off of the open, slight gap down, and a continuation move, 578 to 572. Apple opening up strong and trying to pull back a little bit. Not my favorite kind of trade, but just showing you an example of what the count looks for. It looks for momentum in either direction. If you just scan through the top names, most of them are gap plays that didn't show significant follow through. This is a takeover play from Roche, opening up significantly. This is an earnings story, TPX, but pretty much flat off of the open. Same kind of thing with these other names that are showing price movement, but not any significant move away from its opening bid. Again, so if it's not moving, we're not going to focus on it. We're only focusing on the strength and the momentum. Here we go on MCP, showing some type of movement on the upside, but let's take a look. That's where we are so far today. Okay, we're moving into 10:15. MCP is continuing to shine, showing a continuation of its counts. As you can see, it's moving higher. Pull up the chart. Started off at 29 and is now about 30 and a half. Okay, it is now 10:20. You can see MCP is continuing to make higher highs, closing in on 31. Not much else is going on the upside as far as counting is concerned this morning. As you can see, I'll give you a little bit of a background. We have the 8-period moving average of the open, and which is in the red, and the 8-period moving average of the close, which is in the blue. We'd like for the stock obviously to be riding above these bands. We use them as like Keltner channels. Sorry. Sorry about that beep. We have alarm sets on certain stocks, so when they hit certain levels, they beep, and that was a little loud. Apologize. Here's MCP. It is still at 31, a little bit higher, making a new high. It is now about 10:30 in the morning. As we were talking earlier, we're riding the bands of the 8-period, the close above the open. As long as the blue stays above the red, we're basically holding on to the position. Things can fail in a rapid fashion, but we try to focus on that. We focus on the counts and the lead counts, and this keeps us in the trade. I'm going back to show you the chart of Google because this is more of a large directional move this morning, and it is the lead count on the downside. So as you can see, it broke down off the open. It stayed below its bands, and it was running. The trend was down. The counts were increasing, and it made lower lows, found a bottom, tried to rally, failed, trying to make another bottom here. So your move is 578, roughly 572. for a large price stock, that's maybe not a lot, but it's giving you a perspective on how the count system works. Couple of the indicators that we follow. You can see the volume here, quite significant off the open. We look at the directional movement and the ADX for trend. When the ADX is rising above 2025, the trend is increasing. And we look at the commodity channel index, the CCI indicator. When it is below 100 and staying below 100, the trend is also continuing to the downside. So these are all built into the system to create the score and give you the count. Here you can see 1034. Google has a count of 73,253, and it is the lead counter today thus far in the first hour of trade. The point being that if anything is moving, we're going to find it. Anything of significance that's trending, we're going to locate it. We're going to isolate it, we're going to pinpoint it, and you're going to be able to focus on it. www.failuretotradetheplan.com, a stock scanning algorithm for trend traders.